Hi guys, and welcome to a recent read. So these are books I have read recently that I haven't wrapped up somewhere before. But the first one is No Offense by Cabot. This came out August 11, 2020, so it's a new read by Cabot, and I always enjoy her. This story tells about a small town librarian. There's a bit of a mystery of like who hurt this girl and who left this baby. That's like the first scene. I'm not giving anything away. Like the first scene is this librarian finds a baby, and then of course enter the hero of the story. Then it's the town sheriff. It's a very, very small island. This story, I liked it overall. It's cute and adorable, but at the same time, the girl was a bit like kind of a quirky, jumpy librarian type, and I just didn't really connect with her very well. As well, she did things quite rashly. For an adult woman, you wouldn't do certain things. Being like a professional librarian, you wouldn't do certain social media things she did in the book. And as well, the romance wasn't organic. It wasn't like given to you. It was just like, oh, he's gorgeous looking, and that's it, and nothing really organically grew out of it. I felt like, so the romance also felt forced. So I think I gave this one like 3 stars, a little 3 stars, and it was just definitely middle of the road for me. The next one is The Royal We by Heather Cooks and Jessica Morgan. Interesting read. I didn't realize it was a fan fiction until I started reading it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like Kate Middleton's life. I mean, it's a little bit spin off The Girl's American, but if you want to read a fan fiction piece about Kate Middleton, this is it. I read both of them. They were cute and light and easy to read. I thought the story was kind of quite unique because it did span 8 years, and it's kind of hard to like build a romance through 8 years, but I felt like the authors picked and choose very, very well, like the drama and everything, to like keep going and pull it over the course of 8 years. I think an 8-year time span is normal for like a YA novel like this. I would say this is definitely kind of a YA fan fiction piece, but between both of the duologies, you really get to get to know the brother, who is Freddie, who is like Prince Harry, and I felt like he was the best character on the page. These two should have been the brightest characters on the page, but I just didn't really love him, and Freddie really jumped off the page for me. So yeah, it was an easy, lighthearted YA read. I gave 3 stars. The next one I read was Happily Ever Ninja by Penny Reid. This came out June 1st in 2019, or July 1st? I don't think it came out that recently, but maybe it did. I really liked this one. This was my second favorite of the knitting series. I think this was the last in the series, or one of the last in the series. And it's about a girl who used to be like an ex-CIA agent, and none of her friends know, but all this drama goes down, which is the part that becomes a little unbelievable. It's always like, this is actually a story about a girl and a husband. So like a girl and a husband, a wife and a husband. So it's kind of like an old relationship, but all this drama happens to her, and she has to go on these like very climactic things. That's one thing I absolutely love about Penny Reid, is all her characters are so different, and they all have these unique lives that you kind of get into, you really get to know. So they obviously have this very unique life, and her husband like works overseas a lot. But yeah, I didn't really believe the heist and the drama in the end. So I think this should have been like a 4-star book from her, but I believe I gave it 3.5 stars overall. It was a really good book. I enjoyed it. I love Penny Reid's writing. But yeah, just another adult romance. This one I read was Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert, and I kind of relied where everybody else lied on this book. They either really loved Get a Life, Chloe Brown, or they loved this one a little more. This one tells a story about a professor and a security guard. This guy used to be like an ex-soccer player. It says football in the thing, of course, but the girl is like fully figured, has short hair. She dyes it all different colors. So I love that. I love that she has like these brightly colored hairs. I love to dye my hair too. I felt like this story was really propped up in the other book. I felt like in this story they really prop up the backgrounds of the people, but then I feel like it kind of fell flat a little for me as far as character development on both ends. I felt like there wasn't much to the story. Like their background story is great. It's awesome. The other thing is this was like a media-based story a bit about like social media, because he's semi-famous because he used to be a pro. And that kind of fell flat. I didn't like reading about that part, or else I think this story I would have gave it 4 or 4.5 stars. It was just like some bits of it, like that kind of, I didn't appreciate like reading about or anything. Still love it. I'm gonna go on this series with Eve Brown. I absolutely loved Get a Life, Chloe Brown. So I really, really enjoyed it overall, but there were just some little bits that kind of knocked it down that I just, yeah, I do love the characters, but I wish they had more development. And yeah, the media story, the social media thing, whatever. Okay, Next up is Troubled Blood by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling. I have gone on this series since she first started the series, The Cuckoo's Calling, and I'm in love with Strike and Robin. I'm absolutely in love with it. And this whole book, you were like, will they, won't they? And it is like 900 pages. This book took me 2 months. It was their first cold case, so actually I felt refreshed and interested in this mystery. But the whole time I'm reading this book, I'm really reading it for more Carmen and Robin's like life stories, and I felt like there was too much of their other cases going on. I felt like she was trying to drag out time through a year almost when it didn't really need to be dragged out for a whole year. I don't really know. This book being 900 pages, I think would have been really, really good around 500, 600 pages. There was a lot I felt like could have been cut out, and I would have absolutely loved it. I gave it 4 stars overall because I'm in love with these characters. And even though I put it down so many times and read other books in between, I remembered everything. So the imagery is really good in this book. I didn't forget anything when I put it down, which is amazing for such a big book. But overall, I didn't love it by any means at the same time. So I wish there was hundreds of pages cut out from this. Like, as far as the side cases and what was going on with other characters, I didn't care too much, or she didn't make me want to care too much about that stuff going on. And so, yeah, I did enjoy it. A lot of things about it. I loved Robin and Strike, of course. I loved the cold case. It was different and it was fun, but I just felt like it could have been written more concisely. And last but not least is Dating-ish by Penny Reid. Okay, so this is like a story, like it was a comedy. It was much more Penny Reid, and it was just so funny and cute and adorable. But it was about like a guy who's like building this romantic relationship partner, and then a girl who's a writer, and like writing about ways people stop from being lonely, so they do other things, like they go to like a cuddling session and stuff. And so it was like a completely funny, cute take. I didn't enjoy the romance that much, so I still only gave it 3 stars, but it was completely fun. And it was still a recommended read. If you're going to read the Knitting series and the Beard series, which I absolutely love, I would still read them all. All of them. But I will see you guys in the next one. See you guys next time. And I hope you enjoyed this recent reads. And see you in the next one. Bye!